on our seamless texture skin application, we're going to precondition our mats with liquid release. Now, you can use powder release. Remember, there's two alternatives when it comes to release. You have a powdered release, known as an antique release, or you have a clear liquid release. It really is dependent on the type of look you're trying to achieve. I do like to use liquid release on texture skins because the majority of the time I like to come back and do a light stain wash over it. After all, the whole goal is to make it look authentic and realistic like a natural stone. And so I like to use a lot of the stains on our texture skins. But on this application, we're going to go ahead and use a clear liquid release. Now, what some applicators prefer to do is create what we call a tint. And what they'll do is they'll take the powdered release and actually tint the clear liquid release. And that's yet another way that you can achieve some variety and color variation when using the release. The reason that we use a release, whether it's a powdered release or a liquid release in this case, is we don't want to allow the stamps to stick to the fresh concrete. In other words, if we were to just take this stamping mat or this skin right here and place it onto the fresh concrete and emboss it into that fresh paste, when we lifted this stamp, the paste would be adhering to the bottom of the stamp. So it is really crucial, whether it's powder or in this case liquid, go ahead and precondition the mats with your liquid release, and then from here I'm going to go right out onto the slab and I'm going to spray a light layer of the liquid release right out on the slab as well in preparation for our stamping process. Now on our project here, we're going to use a liquid release, which really lends itself to these stamp overlays. I've found sometimes in the past, if you use a powder release on these polymer modified cement-based toppings, sometimes the polymer actually locks the release in too much, and it's hard to clean off that powder release. So I really stick to the liquid release. Now we are going to go tint this, so we're going to spray liquid release first, then we're going to stamp it or imprint with the serpentine cobble stamps. And then once we've stamped, we're going to spray a light tint of a powdered release that we've put into a clear liquid release. And what happens is the color settles down in all to the nooks and the crannies, the texture and the grout joints, and it gives it a real nice antique.